Hello, this is Victor and here with a 9th Age battle report, and this time it's going to be my Kingdom of Equitane together with Silvan Elf against Highborn Elves and Empire of Sonnstahl. And I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's mainly the High Elves and the Old Empire. So this is the third game in a local tournament called the 9th Age Community Bash in Brussels. And yeah, this is, remember, we lost the previous two games, so we were playing for the last position of the tournament at the moment. And then let's go to deployment and turn 1. So here we have the deployment was more or less the standard one, and the objective was to hold the ground where you have the objective in the middle, and you have the one that have more scoring units in the middle is winning. So we have deployed in the middle our Guild Knights together with the Tweaking and the Dryads, and then in the far flank, the bottom at the end of the picture, I put one of my units of Aspirant Knights, and on the other flank the other Aspirant Knights, and this right flank is also protected with the archers of the Silvan Elves. On front we have quite a shooty Empire army with a lot of pistolers, and then they have a heavy cavalry protecting the backward of one here in that flank behind the pistolers, and then they have the Demigriff, a unit of Demigriff, and the High Elf, also a lot of archers. They have the Phoenix, and they have one of these flying chariots, and then they also have a big unit of how it's called this, I don't know, what's the old Dragon Knight, the heavy cavalry of the High Elves. So here we see this is the middle part of the Empire and Highborn Elves, and we have there the cavalry, the heavy cavalry of the High Elf, the Demigriffs, and behind a unit of archers. And here on the hill, this hill is just a standard hill, the ruins are not doing anything. There is another unit of High Elf archers, and we have the pistolers as well next to there. So now a picture there at the far flank, they put the Phoenix and the, I don't know how it's called, this flying chariot of the first turn was not much to say here. They just advanced a little bit with the cavalry. They advanced a little bit to put the units in range. They did some shooting, but this first turn was not very significant. The shooting, I don't know if they kill 1 or 2 knights maximum between the shooting and the magic phase. So not very heavy. So the shooting was not too bad for my opponent. Not much to say from the turn 1 of the High Elf and Empire. I think the mortars failed. They have 2 mortars behind the hill, by the way. But was not much damage in this first turn. Quite soft. So then we went to our turn, and I decided to charge with the Aspirant Knights on the pistolers. I saw the shooting that was coming. I saw that they can have a lot of shooting, so I decided to charge straight forward and see if I can eliminate one of these units of pistolers. The unit of elf with bows, with our Silvan Elf, my colleague decided to backward them, and then we have the other unit of I don't know how it's called, the one that are in the scouts that are on the ruins, that they did some shooting on the other unit of pistolers, so they start doing some damage. I put my Guild Knights facing the Demigriff, keeping the distance, and yeah, and that's all. So we just keep the distance, back up a little bit, and just discharge with my Aspirant Knights. So yeah, the shooting, as I said, we did very little damage, and yeah, and after the combat, I lost 2 knights, I killed some of the pistolers, but I get stuck in combat there. So my aspirant knights are really flop with my attacks, I think, and I get stuck. So I did not manage to break the pistolers, and yeah, there we are. So this is the end of the turn. Not too much to say, it's just turn 1. So here we see the combat. We put some, I think, +1 to strength or +1 to toughness to try to protect them. But yeah, even with that, I did not manage to break them. And I think it was not bad, to be fair. Because if I have broken them, I was really in front of the enemy heavy cavalry. And then, yeah, my aspirant knights, I don't think they can support the enemy heavy. And here we have another overview. As I said, in this flank, not much to say. On the opposite flank, we just reposition ourselves. I think I lost before 1 knight, and to be fair, the distance was too high that I decided to back up a little bit. But yeah, there is not too much choices here. They really win us on mobility in that flank, so it's quite difficult to see how to act here. So with that, we go to turn 2. So our opponents just decide to keep the distances, to keep shooting. They did this time. They did quite a big damage on my Grill Knights. I think they killed 3 of my Grill Knights. As you can see, the unit is quite reduced. They keep damaging my Aspirant Knights on the other opposite. This was an overturn, to be fair. So we were really receiving a lot of damage between the shooting and the magic. So I decided to risk. And I decided to risk for a very long charge with my Grill Knights. I thought that there was not much to lose there, and I also decided to try to do a very long charge with my Aspirant Knights on the on the Phoenix. I failed the 2 charges. They were really was likely to fail them because they were really long charges. So we just move ahead with the rest of the army. Decide to receive the charges from the Demigriff with the 3 king and try to stun as much as we can. So we just move ahead because keeping the distance is not helping us. They shooting there, winning and in shooting. So we have to start playing really aggressive here. And this was just in turn 2. They really managed to do a lot of damage with the shooting. So here you see in the middle my Grill Knights really damaged. And now we are moving, now the 3 king inside of this forest, flanked by the Dryads. We have less mobility than our opponent, so we decide to go ahead and put our units there. Here we see, moving the 3 king there. And yeah, and after the combat here, we keep stacking combat. You see that he also in the turn reposition the pistolers to be more in the middle, but the unit of pistolers I know is really damaged. The other unit of pistolers, our archers are really doing a lot of damage on the pistolers. So this unit is now below efficiency, and now we will start exposing the sorcerer and the general and the BSB that are in that unit if they don't move them out of there. So really, in that flank, our shooting is doing well, but yeah, we cannot withstand the Highborn archers are really making a lot of damage on us as well. In the combat that you see here next to the tower, again, I think I lost another knight, so I'm only one knight surviving. I kill a pistoler or a couple of pistolers, so we get stuck in combat. Yeah, this is at the end of the turn 2, and they are there still in combat. And this is just end of the turn 2. So not much to say. We really did some damage on the pistolers of our opponent, and my unit of aspirant knights now, the one that is in close combat is only 1 aspirant knight surviving, the one with the standard, and that's all. So with that, we are going to go now to the turn 3 for the Highborn. As you can see, as I was explaining in this flank, yeah, I tried to charge with my aspirant knights without success, and we just moved very aggressively with the 3 king in the forest. I think they can support quite well the chargers. So let's see how it goes. So now we go into turn 3 again, playing the Empire and the Elves. So the picture you see here is in our turn 3, so I forgot to make pictures in the opponent turns. So they keep shooting in my Grill Knights, they did not charge to them, and they kill another one, so I was only 3 Grill Knights surviving, plus the Sorcerer and the BSB. Okay, but now they can choose to hit the Sorcerer and also to hit the BSB because the unit is too small. My Aspirant Knights were damaged, as you can see there in the picture. The Phoenix goes through over them, and I think there is only 2 Aspirant Knights surviving. They were really in a very bad position because the units they have in front are very fast, so they are not in a good position. And then in the charges, the Demiglyph charge on the 3 king, and they get stuck in combat. And this was very good news because they did not break the 3 king, and now I had a very nice flank charge with my Real Knights. So I decided to charge the flank of the how it's called this, the Demiglyph, and the Dryads also charge on the the elf heavy cavalry. So we have here a double combat, and this is very interesting because if we manage to break the Demiglyph, then we can chase them and crash against the elf cavalry. And in that flank we keep the combat, and they keep in combat, so nobody won there. In the shooting we keep depleting the other unit of pistolers, and now they are really very low numbers. Also these bowmen are keep from the elf keep shooting at the pistolers at the end of the picture. And yeah, here we again the combat, and the lone aspirant knight fighting this combat. And this is the result after the charges. So as you can see, the 2 big units of the Empire and the Elf are out of the combat. So first we did the Demiglyph combat, and we won by far. And yeah, and then we decided to chase, and then we charge on the High Elf, on the Highborn Elf cavalry, and then within the next combat we also won this combat by far, and I chased them and I killed them down. So this was a very important moment because we killed 2 big units of our opponents, and now they don't have really strong close combat units anymore, but they still have a lot of shooting. But as well, my units of cavalry now are really damaged. I think I only have 1 aspirant knight, the one with the banner, and the Grill Knights, they only have 2 Grill Knights surviving. No, sorry, they kill the Sorcerer at the end, and there are only 3 Grill Knights surviving, and the BSB. So with that we go to the turn 4, and now I'm without Sorcerer. So I think the Sorcerer was killed in the shooting phase, so they was able to point the Sorcerer because they were very little miniatures in the unit. So as you can see, this is the end of the movement of our opponents. There were no charges from their side. And you see that the heavy cavalry of our opponent, the other unit of 5 knights of the Empire, they just moved next to the objective. They were tired to wait that my aspirant knight is winning the pistolers, and I'm not sure who is going to win there, who is going to win there. So yeah, and they were a lot of shooting, and they keep, I think, with all the shooting, they keep really damaging. They were focusing on my knights, and yeah, my Guild Knights were really damaged in that point. As you can see, my unit of Guild Knights, there are only the Guild Knight and the BSB. This is at the end of our turn. This is the flank. So the aspirant knights, still 2 aspirant knights surviving, and my Guild Knight, only 1 Guild Knight surviving at the BSB. So I decide to move them in order to be able to charge the shooting units, or at least to do some damage there. So I just move them in that position to thread their lines, because really, yeah, this is we have to play quite aggressively. Then the Silvan Elf just decide to go to the middle to try to fight the objective with the remaining knights from our opponent. So here we see the end of the turn. No charges from our side, because yeah, we were in bad position. We just move the eagle, try to see if we need to, because the phoenix was yeah, it was in our backward after flying on top of the aspirant knight, so they can threaten our bowman as well. So yeah, this is another overview. And we go to the turn 5. Now the battle is going quite fast. A lot of units are being killed. So in turn 5, yeah, they just reposition the units to have more shooting, and was at the end of the turn 5 that I managed to win. You see there my aspirant knight, the last with the banner. I managed to win the close combat there. In the shooting, they killed the last Guild Knight in the shooting, and they reduced the other unit of aspirant knights to just the standard bear. So yeah, and then in the middle we start having the combat of the Dvayets with the cavalry, and we just put all our archers to face the phoenix and try to shoot to the phoenix as much as we can to see if we can kill the phoenix just with the thing. So we shoot with everything on the phoenix, and we managed to kill the phoenix with all the shooting. In the combat, yeah, you see that the combat, we also put the eagle in combat with the cavalry, but at the end we only there are still two cavalry surviving in combat with the Dvayets. Yeah, this is the combat with the Dvayets we have there. And as I say, in the shooting phase, they really did a lot of damage on the Guild Knights, killing all of them. Only my BSB was surviving at this moment, and the BSB killed the eagle that was put in front to redirect the charges. The last aspirant knight charged to the remaining 2 pistolers from the unit that was shot down a lot, and I managed to kill the 2 pistolers, and I ran out of the battlefield. So and here we have the combat in the middle. We get both units get stuck in combat, and we go to the turn 6. So turn 6, you can see that all the elf turn to face to shoot at the BSB. My aspirant knight is out of the field, so they cannot kill him, and they kill the BSB. So this was with all the. Then in the middle, the combat between the Dvayets and the cavalry continues. They made the Dvayets run away, but then they regroup after that. So yeah, the objective here in the middle was not controlled by anybody because we have a scoring unit. My last aspirant knight, the one that was in battle with the pistolers, charged one of the mortars that was wounded by magic, and it killed one of the mortars. And the last aspirant knight that was out of the battlefield also returned. So that was at the end of the battle. I think was very balanced battle. The breaking point was when between the Guild Knight and the 3 King, they managed to destroy the 2 units of cavalry of our opponents. So at the end was a 10-10. So was a tight combat. I think it was quite interesting battle. Yeah, I realized that if you have a couple of bad rolls with your Guild Knights and you lose 2 of them, you start losing a lot of effectiveness on your Guild Knights. So they are not that difficult to kill, especially if you start having -1 or -2 to the armor save. So yeah, it's a unit that is a magnet of shooting and combat. So that's all for this battle. So this was quite more interesting, more balanced. Still learning how to play 9th Age and thinking about the list. I think having done so many points accumulated in just one unit is not that good on the Guild Knights. But yeah, it was a fun day. The end was a fun day. I really enjoyed the battles. And yeah, it was fun to play a little bit of fantasy battles. That's all for now. Please leave the comments below. Let me know what do you think. And as usual, thanks a lot for watching. And see you later. Bye.